What's up, everybody, and welcome to Real Time for the real everyday movie fan. I'm Ryan Murphy.
I'm Josh Williams.
And today we're giving you our real-time review for Transformers: The Last Night. All right.
I need some scotch to review this shit.
We always have our pure vodka standing by.
I have left my scotch at home.
Right? Okay.
All right, this movie was sadly directed by...
Directed, or so they say. If
Michael
if
Bay.
That's the word you want to use.
What? No.
And it stars Mark Wahlberg, Isabela Moner, Josh...
Duhamel?
Yeah, however you say that. And Laura Haddock. Is that how you say it? Anthony Hopkins, Peter Cullen, and this guy, Gerard Carmichael.
I believe it's pronounced. Yes.
We both got to see this.
Yes. Neither one of us had to pay.
Thank God.
What did you think? First of all, your score out of 10. I think we all kind of know what to expect.
Okay, yeah, let's put that actually. I knew what to expect when this was.
Everyone knows
it was going to be a piece of shit. I will say it wasn't as big of a turd as the fourth one or the second one.
I don't know how you get there, but okay,
yeah.
Go ahead.
But it's still a piece of crap. It's like, you know, the fourth one's kind of a piece of shit, and this one's more of a polished piece of shit. So I'm going to give this one a 2.5 out of 10.
Really?
Gave it a little bit of a bump because there was a couple small things I liked. But other than that, I mean, one of the things I will say is Mark Wahlberg was a little bit better in this one. In the fourth one, I thought that Michael Bay took an amazing actor and made him horrible. This one, he was a little bit more better, a little more charismatic. He wasn't saying stupid one-liners constantly, because that was a big plus. Anthony Hopkins, I mean, he was good in it. It was good to see his face. I mean, he's a great actor. But then again, it's like this movie's like below his caliber of what a good actor he is.
It's called Paycheck Persuasion.
Right, pretty much.
Also, my grandkids like this movie.
And I do. I kind of liked some of the action sequences involving Bumblebee. I think they were pretty good. They kind of focused on him a little bit more, which was kind of nice. There's a couple of things I liked about his character that I can't get into because of spoiler territory. Even though this movie's crap, I'm still not going to spoil for anyone who's going to want to go see it. I know I've talked to a couple people who went and saw it and liked it, and there's a couple people who are still trying to go see it and still want to go, like, and looking forward to seeing it. So, I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything. There's probably people out there for that. But other than that, that was about it. Okay, I like the fact that product placement wasn't such a big thing. There was one spot that had product placement, but that was it. And other than that, it wasn't like as obvious in your face.
Yes, and it's the choice of a new generation.
The fourth one was ridiculous.
The fourth film, it was like literally in your face.
Was like
and it was
a 2-hour infomercial for various products you can buy.
Yeah, and that was awful. And the slow-mos weren't as bad as the fourth one either. Like I said, I'm gonna keep bringing up the fourth one because that one to me is like
lowest.
One of the lowest quality
of
movies
I've ever.
Film
out of 10.
I think I gave it like a 1.
Okay.
A 1 or something like that, and those are mainly the big things for me. That was really it. I mean, yeah, the action was great, the CG was great, but it's the same as we've gotten before. I have kind of, and it's actually it's like legit the exact same, like kind of style, how it's made, how like the type of action. It's all really the same we've already seen. So I wasn't given anything new, and so that kind of dwindled it down for me a little bit more. So it wasn't anything fun and exciting. It's kind of the same action I've already seen. So, all right, what about you? Let's get into you. What's your score?
I don't know what got into your soup. You're being so generous with this movie. I'm going to give this a 0.5 out of 10. 2.5, seriously. I'm giving this a 0.5 out of 10. To say that this is better than the fourth one is ridiculous in my opinion because here's the deal. Okay, we all know what to expect of the Transformers films. Here's the deal. With the first 3 films, I wouldn't go so far as to say I like them. Objectively, they are very poorly made films.
Not the first one. I think the first one, I rewatched it and I still like it.
It's this film, I have never in my entire life seen a film that made this little sense, that had this, like, you could not imagine that writers were writing. Because it, like, literally, and this is why I'm putting this as, like, one of the worst films I've ever seen, almost, is that I've never seen a film that actually forgot what happened in the previous films.
Yeah.
Cybertron was destroyed. It blew up in the third film, and then he goes to Cybertron, and he's like, "What happened to my home?" And then he's like, and it's like, wait, and then he's talking to some his maker, and they don't explain what that is, and she's like, oh, and he's like, "What happened to Cybertron?" And none of it makes any sense. None of it has anything to do with the end. And then they get to this huge convoluted storyline, right? Like, and again, you don't see it for the story, right? Like, it made me think of like War with Jet Li and Jason Statham, where it was like,
Or Raid Redemption
It was
for
just
me.
all about like Jason Statham fighting Jet Li. You didn't go see it for the story. It was just an excuse to see action, and that's exactly why they made it very simple. This is like the opposite. They're just putting this huge convoluted story. Like they think like they're making like freaking War and Peace here, and it's like you can't even follow it. No one can follow it. All the reviewers, like Peter Travers, was like, no one really knows what's going on in the film, and yet they seemingly put all this thought into like this ridiculous story, and they're like they're forgetting what happened in the previous films. Like no one knows who this lady is that is Optimus Prime's creator. Whatever she's talking about has nothing to do with what was suggested in the fourth film or in the films before that. It's actually really ridiculous. And I mean, it's amazing because as terrible as these movies are, you know, there's always people who like them. There's always people who like it.
Oh, yeah.
And there's people out there, and so they'll say like, well, you know, it's just, you know, what do you expect? It's just dumb action. But if you say that, then with this film, I can maybe understand with the first three films, and maybe even with the fourth film. But if you're still saying with this film, I would say, I mean, that's okay. That's your right. But you have to concede that you then believe there is nothing they could possibly do or say to ever make it bad. As long as if you're in it, you say, hey, it's just action. You just go to see robots blowing shit up. Then if all you want to see is robots blowing shit up, and you will be entertained by that, then you have to concede that there is absolutely nothing that they can ever do, that they can ever write to ever make it bad, because this is as bad as it can possibly get.
One of the things, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it anyways. The Dinobots got shit on again. Again. It pissed me off so bad. Like they were in it for like a little bit, and then they're not in it at all afterwards, and you're kind of like, and there's even opportunity to bring them in and like help you with. Of course, it's gonna be a big ending battle scene. Everyone knows this, and they're like, where are they at? Why aren't they here? This makes no sense. Another big one I had a problem with was like Isabela Moner, or whatever you say her name is. They made her like she's gonna be in this big, huge part in this movie. She's gonna be like, you know, the next thing, you know, the next main character. Yeah, no, she's in it for like. I mean, she's in it for the first like maybe 20, 25 minutes, I would say. And after that, you don't see her till the last 10.
Yeah,
like she's in it for the last 10 minutes of the movie.
And they try and work her into the last 10 minutes, and it just doesn't. It's completely inconsequential.
And at the end, after the movie ends, you're kind of like, what was the fucking point of her? What was the point of her being in this movie? It made no sense. It really blew my mind, personally. And even with her little toy Transformer friend who she had, he was pointless in the movie too. And those are some of the big problems I had for me. And there's a couple others at the end of the film. There's a couple other things I can't get into because it's a spoiler, but I will say this is a big one. The big reveal of something that happens in this movie
is so bad.
I hate being vague, but if you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about. The big reveal of
I think if you're a Transformers fan, first of all, you've probably already seen the movie or don't care about spoilers because you've sworn it off. But
I will say, it's in the synopsis, and I think they've even brought up in the trailers, if I remember correctly. So I can say this: they brought up that Unicron's going to be in this movie. The reveal of Unicron is the dumbest thing I think I have ever seen in the history of cinema. As far as storytelling goes, I'm sorry.
I'm not even going to argue that point.
I mean,
it's probably true.
I don't hardly ever say that, but for this point, unless I can be proven wrong. I'm the guy
for superlatives. He's the guy for like.
I was so shocked. I mean, I was in a room with quite a few people in this movie, and I out loud, I didn't realize I said, I was like, really? And then I heard a couple chuckles in the audience too, because there's about like 40 people in the theater with me. I was like, really?
There's probably some Transformers.
And I was surprised. That was the big surprise, and it was not in a good way at all.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, there's a few other things I can't get into because it's a spoiler, but those are the biggest ones. And I know that it doesn't seem like much, but he hit the nail on the head. The story just made no sense.
And like
no sense at all.
Referencing the previous 4 films is just whatever.
I'll admit, I forgot to say this. I'll admit, the 4 opening scenes of the movie, like it opens up, it's in the medieval times. It's not really a spoiler. You know there's going to be medieval times. So it opens up with that. I guess that could be a spoiler. I mean, it's not that big, but I'm not going to get into what happens. But the first like 5 minutes of it is 5-10 minutes is really good. I was like, wow, this actually could, hopefully, this is a change. I'm hopefully that this is on the right path. And then a character comes in and says one line. And I go, that's it. That one line, like, just it threw it off the cliff right away.
Oh wait,
I
I
was
forgot
just
this is
shocked.
a Michael Bay Transformers film. Darn.
Yeah, and that's what's like, oh, I forgot. He wants to add in, he wants to add his own, spin on it. But I think I said this to someone. I can't remember who I said to. After watching this movie, I feel like there is a decent movie in this. I feel like there's a decent movie in this movie somewhere that it just needs to be rewritten, redirected, and maybe even throw out a few characters. I cannot recommend this. Please do not go see this in the theaters. I said this to him before we started airing. The one way that studios know whether you like a movie or not, or whether they want to make sequels, is with the money, with the box office. That's the reason why Transformers 4 made $1 billion. Like, hey, let's make a fifth one, and let's just keep going and going. As of right now, we looked at it's been out for a couple weeks now. It's only got about $400 million made. So hopefully people are starting to realize that don't go see this movie so the studios know this is not what we want in a Transformers franchise. We want something more, something better. And I don't know about you. Obviously, you can't recommend it either.
Can't recommend it. I don't know. I don't think there's a good movie on the horizon either. Even if they get a better director, they've ruined the idea for Transformers 6 with their reveal of Unicron is absolutely ridiculous. So.
Now, hang on.
We are running so far past time.
That doesn't matter. It's gonna be okay. I will say though, I am looking forward to Bumblebee's spinoff. Only reason
Travis Knight.
this could be a more of a Patty Jenkins effect with Wonder Woman, where Travis Knight's coming in to direct Bumblebee. Hopefully, he could put his own little spin on it. It's gonna be set in the '80s, and hopefully, like it could actually be a good movie and surprise the hell out of us. That's the one thing I'm looking forward that came out of this, because they did set up Bumblebee for his movie quite a bit in this movie. So that's something I am looking forward to. And Haley Steinfeld's in it, and I love her.
Okay.
Anything she's in.
Okay, so that'll do us for today, folks. What did you think of Transformers last night? Please leave your comments in the section below. And as always, subscribe to our channel so you can see more of our content in the future. Until next time, I'm Ryan Murphy.
And I'm Josh Williams.
And thank you for keeping it real.
With ReelTime, I'm going to go take some shots.